Family holidays get ruined over it. People's marriages destroyed, lose their jobs and livelihoods, put their kids at risk, lose friendships and relationships and relatives, and then they get laughed at by people like me who think they're crazy. A world full of losers who don't get what they deserve. Nothing bad happens to the bad people, and all the good people just keep on losing everything that they built up, everything that they're built up, everything that they've ever had. Every little piece of sanity that never tried to grasp, and now they're sitting in the garage with a gun in their lap, while a voice in their head keeps saying over and over again, I knew it was right. Now I get the life I always dreamed of. It's time for me to step into my role as one of the 144,000. I'll probably be president, or at least get a nice house and a house. My ex will come crawling back to me, and all the people that said I was crazy will be proven wrong, and they'll see that I was right all along, and they'll say, we're sorry, you were right, we were wrong, and we should have listened. Then I'll finally have all the friends I ever wanted, and my parents will be so proud of me. They'll come to me and say, you were right all along, we were so wrong, we're so sorry, and the voice in their head just keeps saying over and over again.
Alright, I'm gonna connect to the other network, get a more stable connection. We should just come right back.
Every single time, it doesn't happen, I mean, maybe they arrest some local, and I go, but when, and they say, oh, we don't know when, but it's gonna happen, and the voice in their head just keeps saying over and over again.
They thought we was a LARP, then they took it to heart. They thought we was a joke, tried to stop us but it didn't work. Now their worst nightmares come to life, can't beat the vision of the shadow of the night. Couldn't see us if you tried, and now it's lights out. This is where we ride.
Damn,
and it's not gonna be alright. I told you not to listen to the shills, grifters and feds and the haters as well. You didn't have to find out for yourself, and now you got nowhere else to run. No,
I think YouTube's just lagging
ain't no way to hide. When the time comes, you know we'll be the one.
Mic check.
When the dust settles, we'll be the only ones. And the prophecy was real, and the conspiracy was fact, and the theories being proven right before your eyes.
Today, we're going to talk about QAnon rumors.
And the conspiracy was fact.
We're going to talk about QAnon rumors, so I prepared a little thread, a little self-deprecating humor. Here, we'll go to the top. Why? Okay, we're back to excellent. Alright, alright, alright. So, back to the music.
These ain't toys, these are family, they're annoying. Fegoyams are the days. These ain't toys, these are family, they're annoying. Fegoyams are the days. They come with Mossad and Qatar cash. Hopper is a nutcase, but they have to make him as a shunting podcaster. Bro said sold separately.
Oh no. Oh no, my net dropped. Stupid networks. Too many of them, bro. Too many networks. But boy.
Don't you worry about all that. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. Ghislaine Maxwell had a nice ass. Lori Lightfoot couldn't run Chicago. Rachel Levine's a mental patient. AOC has an OnlyFans. Don't you worry about all that. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. Is a pervert. Hunter Biden is still on drugs. But don't you worry about all that. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming. The storm is coming.
Yes, yes, yes.
We've been memeing for you for decades,
Service.
for centuries, millennia, with the weight of God in our hands
given his permission, maiming into existence all the horrible, degenerate things, the destruction of society as you know. We call it shadow vision, and it is.
Alright, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette since no one's here. But I'll be right
Just
back.
as I'm sure you've been.
Should only take a couple minutes. You also got sweet jams the whole time, and I can talk to you.
And you inside this room, you pour your heart out. Open your mind, no more space between us. I listen softly as I look inside. Hearts of stone and precious jade, sapphire stones and ruby shades, silver, gold and diamonds. Our souls like crystals, splitting light and making songs that vibrate through the night like the singing stars up in the sky. I was running towards a cliff, then I met the catchers in the rye. So now I turn and stand. Future is in my hands and the fire is in our eyes.
Okay.
am that monster. We are those animals. We all speak with angels and we all rise before we fall. Now it's just me and you inside this room. You pour your heart out. Open your mind, no more space between us. I listen softly as I look inside. Hearts of stone and precious jade, sapphire stones and ruby shades, like silver,
This is all unique
gold and
music by
diamonds.
Shadow
Our
Vision.
souls are crystal, splitting light and making songs that vibrate through the night like the singing stars up in the sky. I was running towards a cliff, then I met the catchers in the rye. So now I turn and stand. Future is in my hands and a fire is in our eyes. I am that monster. We are those animals. We all speak with angels and we all rise before we fall.
Alright. Well, we got like 2 more songs, and we're gonna start it off, guys.
So now I turn and stand. Future is in my hands and a fire's in our eyes. tell the motherfuckers I did it. Blame Arthur. My fingerprint up all over the crime scene. Acorn is now 9 Chutnut, now me. You all seen the private boy, ain't you, dog? Why do I have more posts there than you?
Why do I have more posts than you?
Oh, gay tricks like Shady and Matrix. Say it's debunked. Go ask Toots the little fight
Alright,
his
guys.
carcasses in my
Thank you
trunk. Who
for
do you
showing
wanna
up.
blame? Who do you
We'll
wanna
finish
hear your
the song
excuse?
out,
What
and
do
then
you
we'll
mean? You
start
just
it
have an
up. We're
opinion.
gonna talk
So you
about
mean to tell me it's all in your head because you can't
and
overcome your
Q&A
bias? Damn.
and
That's
myself.
fucked for you. Didn't even stop me. So what are you gonna do? Not a goddamn thing, but sit there and complain. Remember, kids, it's always sunny in Spain. So what am I mind? I'm so out the line. I'm the worst fucking thing you've ever heard of. Wait a minute, that's absurd. Never heard. Top of 9 wants to know. How can you decode every day but never go to the private board and hold the words like they holy? Joe Rambo is a fag, and blow me. Decode your little opinion. Timestamp, translate, tramp. How come every day you do this, you only come from your own bias? True stormy Joe niggas, a gay loser. Come on, buddy, tell me about your plan to save the world. Tell me all the excuses you told your girl, please. For the love of God, make it make sense. How do you try to make predictions every day to pay rent? Cause that shit is pathetic. Regardless of coincidence, there's nothing special about what you do. Trust me, fam, no one in the administration gives a fuck about you. Define projection. Little homo knows better cause he touches his erection after suffering rejection. Go ahead, maybe tell me more about my friend Baby Fist. Tell me how Jack Matlock's kid was cute. 6 real whistleblowers, a ton of fake influencers, all robbing Ron to get the trip coat on.
Looks like the whole deck is stacked with joker cards. They call that shadow vision. Operation I'm the Kraken stays winning. Never losing sight of the victory. Every time I see you post, I'm like,
Bro, you kidding me? Dear Wolfgang, your dad's fat, has his tits out. So let's recap real quick. I'm at B team in 2021 and 22, cicada 30, theta 10. Look, I won multiple puzzles, but I guess that's just a ghost to my toast. I'm actually pretty humble, so don't get it twisted. I don't do this for clicks, I don't do this for your little fame. I changed the game, so blame Arthur. God damn it, ain't another alive on the planet that could have planned it. So fuck you, Austin, what you gonna do? Get your future self to tell your past self to your present self to work on your health. No wonder you don't get this bread, then get left on red, pleading with everyone to stop my memes. I don't think so, cause if you're in the future, I'm in the future. Oh wait, look what I did in the past now, I'm the future. Keck, that's right, go ask Jim about shadow vision. As I dodge throwing panties from all these women, we winning. I don't even make videos no more, not really shit, captain of what? A butt? Bro, my fucking rules broke the trust to a group. Hope the chances you had give you pause, doesn't it as well? Smack the dog shit out the deep state, and not a people howl, and not a single soul except my squad. Ghost, shadow vision, toast, ring the bell. All of the code and Rambo. What's wrong? Did you fail? Psyop is less than myopic, cause I hop over plans, planets, and galaxies.
They're one of you, though.
Challenge me. Go ahead and tell the motherfuckers I did it. Blame Arthur. My fingerprint up all over the crime scene. Acorn is now 9 Chutnut, now me. You all seen the private boy, ain't you, dog? Why do I have more posts there than you?
Why do I have more posts than you?
Q. Alright guys, welcome. I'd like to thank everyone who shows up or who's watching later. We're going to talk about some funny stuff. We're going to go throwback all the way to the late 90s. And we are going to talk about myself in a nice self-deprecating way. Here, let's zoom you guys in so we can really read it on screen. I don't want, these clips taken out of context or nothing. Says my stream's in good health. Anyone let me know if we're stuttering or having any issues. Let me know if you have questions or anything like that. So the time right now, as you can see on the screen, I believe, in this bottom right, is 1:27 p.m. and we are going to begin talking about this. That way, if you want to jump back, you could use that as a reference in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right here, 1:27. So I went over to ChatGPT because everyone loves the GPT so much and what it does and all of its answers. So I went over there and I decided to ask it about me and how it thinks I'm involved with QAnon, and the Q gang or whatever. Network, 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 network. We're back. We're back. Okay, so I don't know what just happened there. My net dropped for like literally 1 second. But like I said, so I decided to ask the GPTer over here, the Chat GPT, as people like to call it, because they can't read. But it says it's going to be careful, and it describes what's an online rumor chaining, which is very common in the space adjacent to QAnon. So here's the grounded context. QAnon and the Q gang threads usually are QAnon. It explains that QAnon is a loose conspiracy driven movement that grew out of anonymous posts, Q drops, on image boards. There's no formal membership or verified leader. Most gang cells or named individuals and threads are speculation, role playing, or narrative building by users. Um, Let me put this up here. This is for, quote, educational purposes. Okay, awesome. This isn't my opinion. This is what ChatGPT says. So it goes on to say that about the name Sergeant B and Babyfist, there's kinds of names are not unique identifiers. Many handles are reused across platforms or invented on the spot. Q-adjacent threads attribute significance to usernames retroactively. They invent backstories. They merge coincidence, pattern seeking into connections. There's no credible, verified public record tying random internet handles to actual QAnon operators. Huh. That's an interesting thought you have there, Mr. ChatGBT. So it gives us a reality check to just make sure that we're not retards and full-blown Q autists. And then it says these claims only exist online, and it's a myth of propagation. So it gives us how do we evaluate a claim like this, and it asks me to, break down what category these types of things fall into. So I was like, hey, well, I found it from a paper by Laura Dilley from Michigan State University. And it's like, oh, cool, thanks. I totally get that. And then it goes, is this the paper you're talking about? And I was like, yeah, that's totally the paper I was talking about. It's called QAnon Propaganda in Social Media Networks, focusing on Twitter, network influence, and coordinated messaging. So you could see it right here. There's a reference. They happen to reference Freedom Publishers Union, but if you really do want to get this, since they have renamed it, you could go to the ARXIV website and look it up. You can find that link right here. There's a web archive one, and then there's an updated one. But y'all can read that on your own. I think most of you who are here laughing at this and getting along over here already know about this paper. So it goes on to explain that it looks like these accounts promoting QAnon content are connected. It uses network analysis and Twitter data. It goes on to provide the original research paper. Once again, yo, what up, Ghost Bear around? Um, it, so we started a couple minutes ago. We're just talking about Baby Fist and Sergeant B. But her research paper, it does not purport to be in a law enforcement investigation. It is a social science research about online networks. There's that word networks. I keep seeing it everywhere. It's interesting. Not an authoritative disclosure of secret identities. So no secret identities leaked. Yeah, she's got me blocked too. I don't know why. I could probably help her with her research more than most people can, but I think she's done researching and on to the LARP land. Um, so right here, or I got a F5 something. Um, So it says there's no mention of Babyfist or Sergeant B in the research paper. There's probably an online thread, Q notes, researchers, speculation of anonymous user content, obscured names like Babyfist and Sergeant B into the narrative. This goes into Freedom Publishers Union once again. Oh, hey, Blazin. Uh, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna totally subdue your channel. Blazen's new channel, great. We'll get into this LARP wizard here a little bit later, but I hit you with the sub. Thanks, Blazen. So there's some more Freedom Publishers Union stuff about Q that, what's it called, the chat GBT is referencing. You know, there's a couple names, there's an assumed timeline here. You know, we could get back to this. You know, you got Tori. We could all check this out in a little bit. But we'll get back to here. This is a list of names, organizations. You know, there's all these people. It's very interesting. Then apparently there's a whole section dedicated to ABCU8, The Laughing Man, No Such Agency, Sergeant B, my full name with my alias, apparently I'm subservient to Jib Watkins, and then someone read the paperwork and has these names. That's very interesting. We got a Steinbart. Somehow we got a Denise Matteau. It's very interesting if you check this out. I'll drop the link here in a little bit, but this seems to be a pretty decent attempted timeline at the QAnon origins. So we're going to go back to our chat GPT. Um, Oh, welcome, Pattern. Welcome. I appreciate everyone showing up. We're just talking about Babyfist and Sergeant B and what the chat GBT thinks of it. Yeah, I say B on purpose, guys. Um, so there's no mention of Babyfist in the academic paper, and then it pulls up what I did, original research over here. So the academic paper by a nice lady named Laura Dilley examines pattern of influence coordination in online content, not individual famous conspiracy characters from internet subcultures. The Babyfist Sergeant Beast story is in niche forum threads is not substantiated by that paper. It's part of a different ecosystem of speculation that mixes anonymous handles, coincidences, and unverified claims. Um, so we're once again moving on. Why the confusion happens? Why is there some sort of confusion that there's some sort of overlap? It says people often weave anecdotes, user handles, and rumors into insider narratives. The academic paper you saw is about data-driven analysis of social media networks, not about revealing secret identities, dude. I'm like freaking Batman. Or validating forum lore. Academic research does sometimes reference community jargon only to illustrate how conversations happen online, not to authenticate them. So it gives us some more summaries. Laura Dilley research paper exists in an academic social science. The It's about network patterns and propagation of Q content on Twitter. It does not verify the focus on mythical named individuals like Babyfist or Sergeant B. Dude, it's getting better. We're mythical. Online forum claiming connections to those names or movements are speculative rumor, not peer-reviewed evidence. So as it knows, there's still no individual attached to Babyfist, but we'll get there, I hope. If you want, I could summarize Dilly's paper's main finding in plain language and how it was studied. And I was like, I'm not really interested in that. I want to know why Freedom Publishers Union wrote about Babyfist too. It's like, all right, FPU, uh, they want to key distinctions that matter. Freedom Publishers Union, FPU, is and is not. Freedom Publishers Union is not an academic publisher. Okay, so they just happen to have an academic article. We all get that. The a peer-reviewed journal or a university affiliate research outlet. It is best described as an advocacy alternative media site. It repackages, annotates, editorializes material about censorship, QAnon, information warfare, often mixing academic work, opinion, speculation, and narrative framing. That seems fine. It seems like most of their pieces were opinion pieces. So, yeah, that's fine. So, so when FPU writes about baby fists in that content, it's not peer reviewed, it's not from her research paper, it's not evidence in any way. It's an interpretive and speculative overlay. Oh, that seems totally fine. I have no problem with what FPU does. So it explains how Dilly's paper gets misused, about what it's about and how it's used differently, republishes references, adds narrative and commentary. That's the big one. Um, Sometimes introduces named figures, handles, and characters implying connections to the original paper does not make. So it's saying that there's a couple jumps to conclusions, which I kind of agree with, but that's how names like Babyface end up adjacent to legitimate research without being part of it. Yes! It's a classic case of secondary source contamination, which is something you should look into if you don't know about secondary source contamination and how it works and how the narrative changes based on input. So, there's nothing that establishes who Babyface is, that it's actually one person, that it demonstrates ties to real world uh, operations. In FPU's writings, it's a symbolic handle, a speculative node, and a narrative placeholder, not a proven identity. This matters because naming without verification is how online mythology forms. Why this feels convincing? Because it cites real academic language, it uses technical language, it references real data sets, it mirrors academic formatting, but the claims about individuals or handles are editorial, keyword, not scholarly. It wants to make that distinction. Think of it as academic data plus ideological interpretation plus conjecture is not research conclusions. Okay, so the bottom line is Laura Dilly is awesome, real, and legitimate. FPU's writing about Babyfist is not part of that research. That's very clear. Someone else is called Sergeant B, Blazin, but I get blamed for all that. It's a long story related to the QAnon saga. I have many, many names that I've used. We'll go over it once we get a little further here. Okay, so it says separate the fact from fiction versus the paper and the commentary. Explain why QAnon ecosystems. And I say, wait, hold on. You told me Babyfist wasn't in the paper. So I'm like, hey, Babyfist and Babyfist 2 were both in the paper. Um, so I correct it. It's like, oh yeah, dude, you're totally right. Both of them do appear in the paper within the data sets. Okay? So that seems correct, but they aren't central queue leaders. Whew, thank goodness. Here, hold on. You gotta see me. Whew, thank God I'm not a queue leader. Um, Here's what we can confirm from the actual research context, what the daily paper and related research material shows. Um, So in the preprint of the paper, it says, during the analysis of interactions and network connectivity on Twitter, researchers documented that account Babyfish appeared in conversational threads with other accounts in the datasets. A related account, Babyfish2, was also observed sending a tweet that interacted with other accounts in the dataset mentioning Fazul Lazarus. If you all don't know who that is, it's TS the dude, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Thomas Schoenberger. And using hashtags like cicada3301 and the term keck. These mentions were part of the reference dataset showing how accounts interacted, not an assertion of real-world identities or leadership roles. Great, great, great. That's good. Relevant excerpt from the research, adjacent material. Researchers documented Babyface interacting with others in 2020. Holy shit, 2020. And Babyface 2 tweeting on January 2021 using conversational turns. I think they mean terms, with other accounts in the dataset. It was noted alongside other interactions involving cicada-related content. Once again, the reference is the original research paper, just so we see. Wonderful. Uh, oh yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke. I'm just not gonna say anything bad about her. Um, the paper itself is an academic preprint, doesn't treat these accounts as prominent Q leaders or verified individuals, part of a sampling of a network of Twitter accounts that exhibited conversational activity connected to QAnon related topics. The presence of the handle does not prove anything about real world personal identities, intent, coordination, or centrality in the QAnon doctrine. Many Twitter accounts and research datasets like this are included because of the observed interactions, not because they are proven influencers or verified individuals. Why this distinction matters? It's just saying I'm not cool enough. I hear them. Um, where I'm just not cool enough to be a bigger part of her paper, is what it keeps telling me, which I'm fine with. Okay, it collects large samples using hashtags and interactions, not because these accounts are known or verified, but it seemed like they really targeted this one account here. Let me just highlight it. This one. I told you who it was. So yeah, yes, I think that's factual, chat. The academic social network analysis, it collects large samples. We did that. It doesn't attribute real world identities. Cool. So the takeaway is the accounts noted interaction, blah blah blah, Q, daily research. It does not imply that they are proven leaders or central figures. Thank God. Yeah. So it doesn't represent real, and I'm not real, guys. According to this, Baby Fist is not real. Okay. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get all that, but I was in the paper, just so we're sure. And then I say, explain how Baby Fist and Sergeant B personas are evolved in the Q lore. And it's like, ha ha ha, I'm not supposed to talk about this, so I'll explain this strictly as Q lore, not verified history or real world facts. Make sure. Oh, yeah. For real, guys. In chat, you're just nailing it. I'm just not going to comment up here about that. But yeah, that's very, very true. Okay, so we go into the Q lore. It explains how there's a mythology that formed around QAnon, and then it's a mix of anonymous forums, Twitter, Telegram, symbolic namings, pattern matching, and community storytelling. That's pretty easy to understand if you've been involved at all. Yo, 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 how are you, Miss Indecent? Within the ecosystem, personas matter more than proof. This is a very interesting take that the GBT has. Um, Characters emerge because communities interpret them as meaningful. So the Babyface persona in the Q lore seems to be a recurring symbolic handle. Appears across platforms, Twitter, uses insider language, keck, cicada, numerology, cryptic phrasing, sometimes posts just enough to invite interpretation. In the Q lore, this makes the persona a signaler, not a speaker, someone who nudges, not explains. Okay? So if you get that, I'm just a nudger, apparently, according to the GBT over here. Um, it's also a bridge character. Within lore, Baby Fist is often cast as a connector between puzzle culture, so it says QAnon to cicada to Chan culture in a interoperable way, which is really cool that it knows so much about me. I'm very impressed for saying I don't exist so many times. Someone who knows the language, in quotes, apparently. I know the language because I say the kek. He says the kek, so he knows the language. It's a proof of presence. Uh, hey, you can't tell on me. This is why some narratives link Babyface to information warfare aesthetics, meme level signaling, psychological operations, psyop as a concept, not evidence. Huh, interesting. A so I'm a symbol bridge character who shows up in data sets to just be irrelevant fodder. They notice Babyface because Babyface matters. That's what the lore states. But it says that's a narrative leap, not a research claim. Yeah, I'm a boogeyman in her eyes. The Sergeant B persona in the Q lore, it occupies a different archetype. So we covered Babyface there apparently, that I'm fictitious, a bridge character, and I show up in datasets because I'm a narrative leap, which is okay by me. The Sergeant B persona in the Q lore occupies a different archetype, the military insider archetype. In Q lore, Sergeant B is framed as a low to mid-level military or intelligence voice, someone with operational awareness, in quotes, a validator of the ideas that the military is involved. There is no verification of this. It is a role, not an identity, states GBT. The function within the mythos, Sergeant B serves as three narrative purpose. Authority projection, it makes the claim feel grounded. Chain of command illusion, reinforces trust the plan. Plausible deniability, vague enough to never be falsified. In lore terms, Q equals strategy, Sergeant B equals operation, Babyface equals signaling and culture. This is what ChatGPT thinks about me. I think it's very interesting. In lore terms, Q is strategy, Sergeant B is operations, Babyface is signaling and culture. It's really funny. Like, I find it hilarious, I think. So, how Babyface and Sergeant B link to the lore? They often paired because they represent complementary narrative roles. Babyface, cryptic signaler, culture bridge. Sergeant B, inside validator, authority proxy. The lore community interprets this as one speaks in symbols, one speaks in credibility. No direct coordination has ever been proven. The linkage exists in interpretation, not evidence. Interesting. Oh, we'll get there. After we cover the names, I'll tell you how I feel about all this. So we continue. Why the lore persists? Because the Q ecosystem rewards ambiguity, symbolic consistency, names that feel intentional. Once a persona fits the mythology, every appearance becomes confirmation. Silence becomes operational security. Contradictions become disinformation. This makes the story self-sealing. The ground takeaway, Babyface and Sergeant B are narrative personas within Q lore. They are not verified individuals. Their roles are assigned by community interpretation. Academic mentions are not equal to endorsements or validation. Secondary sites often blur lore and research, so the facts versus fiction. And then down here, if you want, we could, it gives me some options. And I say, explain more about these personas and how they connect to various communities. And it's like, hey, reminder, this is like a play game. This isn't real. Trust me, bro. So right here, Personas as connective tissue in online subcultures. In fragmented internet ecosystems, personas like Babyface and Sergeant B don't operate like traditional influencers. They function more like narrative routers. Lightweight identities that allow ideas to move between otherwise separate communities. Think of them less as people and more as interfaces. So now I've been depersoned even by ChatGPT. I'm not a person. I'm, I'm not even in the lore. I'm just fake. So I love it. So Babyface persona, cross community signaler. This is kind of a rehash. It says that semi oh semiotic bridge. I don't even know what that fucking word means. Let's let's show you how dumb I am. The gestures, images, and objects notated in his scripts share relating to signs and symbols. Huh. Okay. So a symbolic bridge. Babyface is interpreted by lore communities as someone fluent in multiple symbolic languages, Chan culture, irony, anonymity, memes, QAnon decoding culture, breadcrumbs, hidden meanings, Cicada 3301, the puzzle mystique, Keck chaos, meta meme symbolism. This makes Persona useful as a translator, even if no translation is explicitly happening. The posts don't explain, they invite pattern recognition. Communities Babyfist is connected to in the lore. In the lore. I can't really be connected. Yo, what up, Ghost? Um, yeah, I think you're getting it, Blazing. That ChatGPT thinks I just am a telephone operator. I connect one community to the next with nonsense, according to it. So I'm connected to the Chan and image forge culture, which is heavily influenced by anonymous, ironic interactions and adversarial interactions. Babyfist style posting fits, minimal explanation, layered irony, plausible deniability. It's just a joke. Which, I'm always saying it's a game, but it's not a game. Learn to play the game. This lets content survive scrutiny while still feeling meaningful to insiders. Cicada, ARG, and puzzle communities. These communities value scarcity, cryptic hints, silence as signal. Babyfist gets pulled into this space because references to cicada or puzzle aesthetics, refusal for clarity, irregular activities. I really want to know what he means with irregular activities. What kind of irregular activities is this Babyfist character up to, Mr. Chat GBT? Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone, by the way. Thank you. Um, Only someone who understands puzzles would communicate like this. That's what the lore interpretation is. So now we're down to the Q community. QAnon decoding communities. Q communities actively hunt for nodes that feel intentional. Baby fits because it appears adjacent to Q Discord. It's not overtly promotional. It feels out of band. In Q lore, that becomes they're not spreading messages, they're confirming them. Again, this is interpretive, not evidentiary. Why Babyfist never becomes a leader? Why don't I become a leader? That's a great question. Why don't I ever lead? I'm such a loser. I've never led anything. So, leaders can be disproven, signalers can't. Babyfist remains useful to the lore because of low output, high ambiguity, no fixed doctrine. It keeps the persona reusable across narratives. The Sergeant B persona, in comparison to the the Sergeant B persona authority anchor is different than the Babyfist persona, where Babyfist is symbolic, Sergeant B is structural. The core role, credibility proxy. Sergeant B embodies military insider, disciplined tone, operational framing, chain of command language, appeals to patience and order. This resonates strongly with veterans, law and order audiences, people uncomfortable with chaos but attracted to secret knowledge. Sergeant B seems to connect to the military and veteran online spaces. Emphasis on hierarchy and missions. Familiar language pattern. You can't know everything yet. Framing. Even without verification, the style feels legitimate to some readers. The Conservative Trust Network. Sergeant B acts as a reassurance figure. Someone responsible is in control. This stabilizes belief during moments of failure. The Q, trust the plan subculture. Sergeant B reinforces this via delayed gratification. Mic check, mic check. My headset turned off on its own. That was weird. Okay. It's still working. How Babyfist and Sergeant B connect together. So they rarely interact directly, but in lore they form a complete narrative circuit. Babyfist provides the meaning generation, and Sergeant B provides the authority validation. One makes the puzzle feel deep, the other makes it feel safe. This mirrors classic propaganda structure. The mystic and the soldier, the oracle and the commander, chaos and order. Why multiple This is where it gets interesting. Why multiple communities adopt the same personas? Because the personas are underspecified. Each community projects its own values onto them. Babyface has been me, like, the whole time, guys, by the way, which, what makes me find this also funny. Because the personas are underspecified, each community projects its own values onto them. Puzzle solvers see intelligence, Chan users see irony, Q believers see coordination, research sees data points, skeptics see ambiguity. The flexibility is why they persist. Critical takeaways, the important notes. None of this requires coordination, intent, or even a real individual. Once again, persona non grata. I'm depersonalized by this thing. Personas like these can emerge purely from username reuse, coincidence, selective attention, community amplification. We're not doing that today. And no, I did not involve the creation of any puzzles in 2017. Um, okay. The personas, yeah, we covered that. The names become symbolic and stops being factual. This is that fact versus fiction I'm always talking about. If you want, next we can diagram how I say explain Babyfist persona and how they influence the many communities you mentioned. So we are going to pause it there. I'm gonna play you a little music just so it's not me droning and droning and droning. And my network's about to reset, so I gotta switch back to my networks. I'm going to give you some good music while you wait for my network to fuck up. Let's see, we're just randomly pick something off the audio files. There's 600 of them. Let's go way back. Maybe we'll find something fun over here. What do you think, guys? Shadow Vision songs, Hello World, Fauci. Let's listen to Turnkey.
Yo, Mikey Flynn, you're the turkey of the feast. Pleading the fifth while your honor's deceased. January 6th, you ghost to let the mob run free. Now you grifting millions, selling lies on a spree. From Anchorage payroll, 500,000 in the bag. You sold out the nation for a Turkish flag. Your movie's a bust, just a narcissist glow. Self-aggrandizing trash, no one's watching that show. Enter Schwamberger topless, ghost in the haze. Haunting bee, soft cloud, lost in cicada's maze. Thomas, your respect, the shirtless, wild and fake. Claiming 3301 like it's yours to take. But ghost in the shadow, solving 5 times fold. Cracking cryptic codes while your scams grow colder. Who's this Baron Arizona? Revis in the mix. A calm man's old ghost pulling land grab tricks. Gobble gobble Flynn, you're a turkey with no spine. Pled the 5th, dodge the truth, wasting all our time. Baron Arizona, shade, grifting land untold. You're turkey, we roast you, your legacies fold. Flynn, you lied to the FBI. Kislyak on speed dial. Russia's sweet whispers, yeah, fell for their style. 24 days in power, then you crash in disgrace. Pardoned by Trump, but can't hide their face. Now you're on X, begging Elon for a chance. Save Bullfrog Bully, man, what's that sad dance? Despairing and it's not even a psyop. Thought you'd own that fight, but your troll got banned. Now you're crying at night. Baron Arizona Revis, the OG of fraud, forged a Spanish land grant. Play the king, not the pawn. 18,000 miles, claimed it all for his own. Built a mansion, Arizona, red brick, redwood throne. Like he grifted, living large on a lie. But the truth caught up, left him broke till he died. Your grift circus the same, just a digital spin. Thanksgiving's for truth, Flynn, you ain't gonna win. Tommy topless, ghost stalking beast off cloud. Tits out late at night, SM bar too loud. You jack 33 to 1, turn the puzzle to a con. Fed queuing on and on till their sanity's gone. From 4chain to 8 gun, you spun your dark web, ghost 5 folds. Left your myth in a shred, liber primacy cracked it. Left solvers in the dust, your shirtless charades, just a criminal's bust. You're a felon Thomas, with a rap sheet to prove. Stalking and nap, but got no honor to move. Link with Flynn's queuing on, pushing lies for the clout. Loki is your account, but your cred's tapping out. Shadow Vision is the champ. Power to the people with no fear. This feast is for heroes, not your digital schemes. Your Thanksgiving plates empty, no more grifting dreams. Flynn, your ex-post screamer, desperate. Elon save my bully, let my troll run free. Bullfrog's a sock puppet, spewing trash in the dark. Dissing Q, man, you missed that mark. A general turned jester, groveling for must not. Your 3-star legacy buried in conspiracy. Sought from Turkey's dirty millions to your Russian affair. You betrayed the Constitution, left us gasping for air. Arizona's ghost laughs at your grind. Revis condemnation with a sharper mind. His Arizona mansion built on lies in deceit. Like your grift circuits hustled front, just a scam in disguise. Co-writing for Angeline, man, it's low rent lies. Flynn, your movie's a flop, just a vanity shrine. Millions from the faithful, but your soul's out of line. Pled the 5th on the 6th, let the Capitol burn. Now you're hawking conspiracies, no lesson learned. Nightmare legends, y'all are lost in the maze. And arms are for truth, but you're serving up lies. Your legacies crumble beneath the patriots' eyes. Flynn, your bullfrogs banned, no more X for that troll. This is Shadow Vision, take your own pathetic home. Begging us for mercy, what a foreign command. When's the last time you wore it anyway? So which one you've killed people before?
Where the fuck is this music coming from? Jesus. Jesus. Okay, we're back. Jesus. That was coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I know. When I switched networks, it refreshed the YouTube page over here that I just closed. This Freedom Publishers Union. We're Not Gonna Take It was playing from maybe this one. Okay, so back to where we were talking crap about baby fists from ChatGPT. We're back on our main network that works. Da-da-da. Everything's good. You can't hear me? Mic check 1 2. Red eye edits. Red eye edits. Can you hear? You might want to turn it up because I think everyone else could hear. I'm gonna reset my frame counter. Make sure everything's good. Mic check. Mic check. Good, good, good. 5 by 5. We got everyone in here. We're crushing it. Stream health is wonderful. We got 10 people hanging out. I really appreciate all of you for coming. Be sure to share this to your friends. Maybe they could get a good laugh about how Babyface isn't a person. But we're going to continue explaining the Babyface persona and how they influence these many communities it decided to mention. Um, so below is a sociological media analysis explanation of the Babyface persona, how it functions as a persona, and how it ends up influencing multiple communities without needing authority, leadership, or even consistency. It's about mechanism, not validation. Okay, what Babyface is functionally. Yeah, where's Angela when I need her to share my stream? She got all the people, all the streams. Um, so, what Babyfist is functionally? Oh no, it says I'm got an error. We're dropping frames. We're dropping 5% of our frames. Oh no, let's see. Not receiving enough video. I seriously doubt that. I just got back on the networks. Ooh, I said it just for you, Baron. It looks like it's streaming fine. It says we're in poor health. Poor health. 1209. Let's make sure my backup network is on and my primary network. The backup to the backup network. All right, they're all gravy. It'll probably just take a second for the stream to even out. Oh, there it goes. We're back to excellent. Wonderful. So this person who's not a person called Babyfist and stuff. The key traits of this Babyfist character are low output, few posts, irregular timing, high ambiguity, cryptic phrasing, meme language, minimal explanation, cultural fluency across multiple internet subcultures, no explicit claims to authority. Functionally, this makes Babyfist a signal node, not a message source. The persona doesn't tell communities what to think, it gives them something to think about. That's an interesting concept. Why ambiguity is power, not a weakness. Most online influence relies on visibility, repetition, and persuasion. Repetition and persuasion. Should I say it some more? Babyfist relies on the opposite: scarcity, interpretability, and projection. Because the persona never fully explains itself, never commits to a single narrative, never corrects misinterpretations. Each community fills the gaps with its own values. This is why the same handle could feel deeply relevant to very different groups. How Babyfist influences specific communities. Chan culture, why it resonates. Irony first communication. Layered meaning. It's a joke. It's not a joke. Plausible deniability. Influence mechanisms. Encourage pattern recognition. Reward insider literacy. Invite users to get the reference. Like, do you get it? Like, do you get the reference? Lol. That's why I played all these funny songs, because if you get the references, it's funny. But if you don't get the references, you're like, ah, it's a song. Are those song names I should be playing? Ghost, Baron. Babyface becomes a cultural wink. Not a leader, but a shared symbol. How he relates to Cicada, ARG, and puzzle communities, why it resonates. The cryptic hints, silence as signals, irregular participation. Influence mechanisms triggers puzzle solving instincts, encourages archival digging and cross referencing, makes absence feel intentional. Babyface is interpreted as someone who understands puzzles, regardless of intent. How Babyface is related to the QAnon decoding communities, why it resonates. Q culture is built on breadcrumbs, hidden meetings, and out-of-band confirmation. Influence mechanisms. Babyface posts are treated as confirmation signals, cultural alignment markers, proof of awareness. The persona does not need to say anything Q specific. The proximity and the ambiguity is enough. The persona is mythologized as in the know without evidence. How he relates to the meme and medical political cultures. Oh, hello, Jose. Joseph. Oh, bye. Retracted your message. Why it resonates with the meme and metapolitical communities. Because the meme culture values remixing, symbolic destiny, and anti-literalism. Hmm. Influence mechanisms. The handle becomes reusable, reference detached from the original contents. Meanings become collective, not authored. Babyface stops being someone and becomes a conceptual token. Now I'm a token. Damn it. Why Babyface influences without authority. Huh. How can you do that? I do say keck. Lamau. Um, okay. So, why Babyface influences without authority? Traditional authority can be challenged. Ambiguous personas cannot. Babyface never claims leadership, insider status, or even truth, so it can't be disproven. When challenged, communities respond with, "You're reading it wrong. That's not what it means. It's not meant for everyone." This makes the persona anti-fragile, which means it can't be broken. So it goes into how academic and secondary references amplify the effect of this Babyface persona. When handles like Babyface appear in datasets, footnotes, secondary commentary, it gains symbolic legitimacy, even if the reference is neutral. Lore communities interpret this as, oh, they've noticed, therefore it matters. This is content collapse. Research describes this behavior. Communities reinterpret descriptions as validation. No intent is required for amplification to occur. The critical insight, the most important part of this Babyface persona, is the influence of Babyface does not require coordination, strategy, real world roles, or even a single consistent operator. Huh. That's an interesting take, considering it is a single consistent operator. I do have real world roles. It doesn't require strategy or coordination. Those are just interesting thoughts. It emerges from ambiguity, cross-culture fluency, and community projection. Once a persona reaches that stage, the communities do the work. So Babyface doesn't even have to do any heavy lifting. He just apparently gets the communities to do the work for him while he doesn't exist, which is awesome. So the bottom line is Babyface is a symbolic persona, not a verified actor. Its influence comes from interpretability, not messaging. Different communities project different meanings into the same signals. The persona persists because it is sparse, deniable, and culturally fluent. The myth is maintained by communities, not the account. Huh, that's really interesting. This I agree with 100%. I'm gonna pull Tams, guys. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back and get a drink of water. I'm gonna play you another song.
News alert. Like Aladdin rubbing my lamp and popping out a genie, a mimetic genius whipping out my giant metaphorical penis so ground shaking. They gotta put us all on a list and tell all their groupie cultists to hunt down shadow vision and try to talk shit. Monetizing narratives, high stakes, betting your credibility, all in on a last hand and losing it all. Tell me, how does it taste? Taste. Turkey neck Mikey Flynn wanted his cut of the take. Rise to fame and some years later got 33 million stacked in a bank. Like a QAnon tag along Groupon, he got sentiment purchased in bulk. Embedded himself with a new one, straight to milk to cult. Gathering cash cows at a patriot roundup, feeding him hope. I think it was around this time some years ago. Suddenly a familiar sound perked the audience ears. Chirp goes the ring on all of their phones. It was that Q alert, resonant loud and the crowd cheers. It's finally here! Looking down to read in total disbelief. But, oh shit, it's sign B. Saying fact versus fiction before taking their leave. Like what? Who's this queer? And so the next wave forms and all the echo chambers adorn the fake saviors and scorn the beat thing as some lame LARPing and largely gay harping. Cause I mean,
Alright, I'm back, but I'm gonna let you listen to this song.
$17 mugs and cute shirts and hey, you know what? My kids are starving, okay? And I lost my job, so now it's back to farming. So shut the fuck up and buy my cups and don't talk to me about that beat garbage. Like Aladdin rubbing my lamp and popping out a genie, a mimetic genius whipping out my giant metaphorical penis so ground shaking. They gotta put us all on a list and tell all their groupie cultists to hunt down shadow vision and try to talk shit. Monetizing narratives, high stakes, betting your credibility, all in on a last hand and losing it all. Tell me, how does it taste? Was that Q alert resonant loud and the crowd cheers? It's finally here! Looking down to read in total disbelief. But, oh shit, it's sign B. Saying fact versus fiction before taking their leave.
Yeah, buy my book, buy my quilt, buy my bag. Oh yeah, you should definitely wash my bus. Buy me a coffee, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, all of it. Hell yeah. Alright, that was B LARPin', the song. So we were at the fact that the myth, Babyface, is maintained by communities and not the account. Oh, excuse me. I'm drinking a bubbly. Sorry for the burps. Oh. What did I click off? Yeah, I'm drinking a bubbly. So sorry for the burp. We could turn off that camera. We don't need that. Bum, bum. Okay, so Babyface is a myth, and it's maintained by communities, not by the Babyface account. So I ask it to compare Babyface to historical anonymous personas, pamphleteers, ARG figures, and PSYOP myths, because it gave me that option right here. So I figured, why not? Okay, so we're going to compare it to previous ARGs, pamphleters, and PSYOP myths. We're going to cover this one quick because I don't think you guys want the history. But Babyface versus anonymous pamphleteers, historical Examples: Federalist Papers, anonymous political letters in Britain, radical or satirical pamphlet signed with aliases, like the what's the one about we should eat the children? That's pretty funny. Um, it's a satirical. Someone knows the name of the article. But okay, so the shared traits between Babyface and pamphleteers is anonymity, sparse identity, interpretive readings, and reuse. You can see right here on the screen how they compare and how they share traits. Um, the key differences in pamphleteers argued explicitly, long-form persuasions. Babyfist signals implicitly, no arguments, only cues. Babyfist is closer to the name Publius, Publius, I don't know how you pronounce that, than a speaker, a mass that allows ideas to circulate without ownership. It's very interesting, this concept, because it's part of the persona that I've actually been building under Babyface. A mass that allows ideas to circulate without ownership. It's a big part of the Laughing Man concept and how that works. But I'd like you to dig into that if that's something you're interested in. Babyface versus ARG, reality game figures. Let's see. Let's make sure the stream's in good health. Wonderful. Um, so ARG figures, historical examples are of ARGs is like Cicada 3301, The Beast, which was a marketing ARG, I Love Bees, which was another ARG. Those are just some of the really big ones. There's a lot more. Game 23, what is it? 76, 76. Sorry. Internet popped on and off again. That's what happens when you have too many networks. We were looking for this, though. They just released a video last night or this morning. Bum, 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 bum. So it looks like 3, 1. Right here. This is an interesting ARG. Speaking of ARGs, if anyone's looking, at 312-153-4312. Almost 100,000 subscribers, 69 videos. It's an ARG that's been going on for, I don't know, more than 10 years. So latest is 13 hours ago, oldest is 13 years ago. So this is a very long ARG. Um, Most people call it news radio. So if you're interested in games, you should check that out. I'll drop that for you if you're interested in that. But back to all of the QAnon rumors, Babyfist lore. Key differences. Insight. Babyfist behaves like an ARG with no puzzle master, meaning emerges entirely from the audience. Babyfist versus PSYOP, intelligence myths. Everyone's infected. Not sure. I don't think I participated in it. Okay. Historical examples. The man in the gray flannel suit, Cold War insider archetypes, Vietnam era whisper campaigns, intelligence rumors, sources close to ... It lists the shared traits here that Babyfist and PSYOP myth might have. Authority by proximity, unverifiability, psychological effect, narrative utility. PSYOP myths imply intentional manipulation. Babyfist does not require intent. Babyface functions like a psyop myth structurally, even if it's emergent rather than designed. Why Babyface is a modern hybrid. Babyface combines three historical roles into one digital narrative form. The pamphlet alias, persistent symbolic name, ARG character, puzzle-like ambiguity, psyop myth, interpretive authority without proof. The new platform ecology, hashtags, datasets, screenshots, secondary commentary, algorithmic resurfacing. These systems amplify ambiguity automatically. The critical difference from history is important. He thinks it's very important that we read this. Earlier anonymous personas needed printers, editors, organizers, were limited by distribution. Babyface requires no infrastructure, can persist via archival fragments, can be resurrected by others. At that point, the persona is no longer controlled by the originator. Oh, I wait the day this happens. As someone wants to be me. The core insight. Babyface is not influential because of what he says. It is influential because of what it allows others to say through it. The places it that places it's firmly in the lineage of anonymous pamphlet mass, ARG specters, and intelligence folklore, but adapting to a networked, remix-driven internet. One sentence summary. Babyface is a 21st century anonymous persona that merges the rhetorical mask of pamphleteers, the ambiguity mechanics of ARGs, and the authority illusion of psyop myths, with the key difference that its power is entirely community generated. If you want, we can. So it gives me some examples now. So, so the first reference to Babyface I can find was the cypherpunk movement, and it's still active today. How has the persona evolved, and are there other names this Babyface goes by, or who started it? And it says, I'll answer carefully, precisely, because this is where people often slide from cultural history into false attribution. What follows is a media, historical, sociological account of the persona, not a claim about a real actor. About the cypherpunk connection. What's solid versus what's interpretive? What's solid? Cypherpunk culture from the 1990s to the present normalized persistent pseudonyms. Up, we're getting an error. Let me check my connection, make sure. Check, check, check. We're still online. Yes. To answer someone who DM'd me on a Discord, yes. This is a new conversation. There was no steering prior to that. Sorry, I'm reading my messages, checking my networks real quick because we were getting stuttering. But let's see. Yeah, and I will provide the link to this once we get through it. Um, Cypherpunk Connection, anonymity handles that outlive any one operator. Identity as a function, not a biography. It is normal for cypherpunk space for one name to be reused, a name to migrate platforms, authorship to be intentionally obscured. So the idea of a persona like Babyface fits cypherpunk norms very well. What is not solid? There is no verifiable record showing a single original Babyface identity. A documented founding declaration, continuity of authorship across decades. In other words, cypherpunk culture explains how a persona like this could exist, not who it is. How the Babyface persona appears to have evolved functionally. Think in phases, not ownership. Phase 1, early crypto cypherpunk style, pseudonymous pre-social media. Function. Handles as a mask. meaning like your internet handle as a mask. Emphasis on irreverence, adversarial humor, sorry, cryptography, and anti-authoritarian aesthetics. Identity model. This name is not a person. The handle signals alignment, not authorship. This is consistent with early cypherpunk mailing list norms. So that was the late 90s, mid 90s. So from mid 2000s to 2010, an internet culture shifted. What changed? Handles became mimetic. Irony increased. Meaning became layered and unstable. Babyface-like personas at this stage stopped explaining, started referencing, becoming harder to pin down. At this point, the persona is more symbol than speaker. Signal interpretation into the late 2010s to the present. This is where Q adjacent, ARG adjacent, and metapolitical commentary communities enter. Sorry. What changed? Communities began treating oh my gosh, ambiguity itself as information. Silence and rarity become interpreted as intent. Archival resurfacing gave old handles new life. Babyface role becomes a known unknown. Huh, that's really interesting. I'm always sharing that. It's funny. Um, so, yeah. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Unknown. Known unknowns. Things we are aware of but don't understand. Known knowns. Things we are aware of and understand. Unknown knowns. Things we understand but are not aware of. Unknown unknowns. Things we are neither aware of nor understand. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I'm sharing that. I'm so sorry. I'm so rude. How rude. That's what I was trying to share to you in reading off. Um, we'll go. Okay. A known unknown, not a messenger, a confirmation artifact. Why the persona still appears active. This is crucial. The persona does not need continuous operator to remain active. Reasons it persists. Handles are reused. Screenshots circulate. Secondary commentary recontextualizes old material. Communities resurrect the name when it fits a narrative. At that stage, activity is not equal to authorship. Are there other names this persona goes by? Here's an honest answer. There is no verified alias list. Anyone claiming otherwise is speculating. However, cypherpunk style personas often manifest as thematic siblings, similar tone, not the same name, stylistic echoes, same rhetoric, different handles, symbols reused, the idea migrates, not the name. So what people interpret as other names are usually parallel personas, not aliases, different handles fulfilling the same role. This is role inheritance, not identity switching. Who started Babyface? That's the next question. There are only three defensible possibilities, and we can't distinguish between them uh, with evidence. A single origin, pseudonymous, later reuse. Pseudonym, sorry. Excuse me. Multiple earlier users, same cultural space, same joke. Emergent name, adopted because it felt right. Cypherpunk culture allows, even encourages, all three. What can we say confidently? The persona does not behave like a brand. It does not seek attribution. It does not assert ownership. These are all anti-authorship signals. The key evolution shift. This is the most important insight according to ChatGPT. early cypherpunk pseudonyms were about protect the author. Modern symbolic personas are about free the meaning from the author. That's message over messenger, and this was protect what you write and protect you yourself when you were being anonymous online. Babyface appears to have crossed that boundary. I appear to have crossed that boundary, apparently. At that point, asking who it is becomes the wrong question. The persona is operating as an infrastructure, not an identity. Bottom line, grounded, non-speculative. The babyface persona is consistent with cypherpunk pseud pseudonym. All right, pseudon. I can't not talk today. There's no evidence of a single continuous operator. False. Um, its evolution track from author math to meme to signal artifact. It persists because communities reuse and reinterpret it. Claims of hidden mastermind or alias networks are narrative projection. And it's like, do you want to compare Babyface to Satoshi Nakamoto? Do you want to know how pseudonyms, god damn, I cannot speak, how pseudonyms transition into cultural infrastructure, mapping when anonymity stops being protective and becomes generative? And I say, so I heard about some other names, bro. How do these relate? There's the Babyface has gone by the Laughing Man, and Patchfag, I know for a fact. And it says, I'll answer this strictly analytically and non-attributional way because it's not allowed to be mean or something. Because the question is exactly where lore often turns into false identification. The safe and accurate frame is archetypes and lineage, not who is who. Short version up front. Laughing Man, the Laughing Man, Patchfag are not proven aliases of Babyfist. Incorrect, but okay. What they do represent is a shared anonymous persona lineage that predates Q lore and comes out of cypherpunk hacker Babyfist persona. I pause because my net fucks up all the time. So the Laughing Man role or origin. The Laughing Man comes from J.D. Salinger, The Laughing Man, which is a short story, and it was made iconic by Ghost in a Shell standalone complex, adapted heavily in hacker culture, hacktivism, Anonymous, the group. Why would you do that to my net, Baron? Uh, so cypherpunk adjacent spaces. The core traits are masked identity, ironic detachment, mockery of authority, intelligence without explanation. I'm visible but unknowable. These are, I think that's actually a good explanation of the Laughing Man persona. The function. The Laughing Man is a philosophical hacker persona, not a leader, not a spokesman, a symbol of post-identity action. This is this is very close to how Babyfist is interpreted, but that does not mean they're the same actor. Turns out they are the same actor because I'm both of them, so I could tell you. The similarities and differences between Laughing Man and Babyfist. Visibility. The Laughing Man is an iconic symbol. Babyfist is a low visibility handle. Rude. Tone. Confident and theatrical. Minimal and cryptic. Intent. Disruptive. Statement. Ambiguous signaling. Origin. Fiction and activism. Emergent internet pseudonym. Relation. They occupy the same philosophical space, but not the same identity space. Laughing Man is a formal mask, while Babyfist is a casual mask. Patch fag, important context. What patch fag actually is. Patch fag is a Chan culture archetype, a derogatory self-applied label meaning someone who fixes, tweaks, and patches systems without recognition. Very, very interesting. It's it's deliberately anti-heroic, self-effaciating, anonymous, and functional. The core traits are no public credit, no leadership claims, operates in comments, replies, and side channels, leaves things working, not explained. So Patchfag versus Babyfist comes from the image boards. Babyfist is cross-platform. Recognition, actively rejected Patchfag, passively avoided Babyfist. Output, functional fixes. Symbolic cues for Babyfist. The ego, intentionally minimized. The ego is absent for Babyfist, apparently. Patchfag and Babyfist share cypherpunk ethics. The work matters, the name does not. That's what makes them compatible personas, not the same ones. Why communities collapse these into one thing? Human brains hate ambiguity. When multiple personas share anonymity, humor, cryptic communication, anti-authority stance, persistence over time, communities tend to merge them, assume coordination, invent continuity. This is myth compression. Myth compression is a very interesting thing. Look that word up too if you don't know what that means. Historically, the same thing happened with Robin Hood, Satoshi Nakamoto, Anonymous. Hey, Ange, good to see you. You still working? The real through line, though, this is the important part. The shared lineage is not a person, it's an ideology. Identity is liability, meaning should outlive authorship. Authority should be mocked, not claimed. Anonymity is a feature, not a shield. Very, very good points. Um, the idea, the ideology runs through cypherpunks, hackers, ARG creators, Chan culture, modern meme, political spaces. Different masks, same spine. So the final grounded answer, there's no evidence that they're one person. Beg to differ. Uh, there's no verifiable alias chain. They express the same anonymous persona tradition. Communities retroactively unify them into one mythical actor. The the persistence comes from cultural reuse, not coordination. Or simply put, Baby Fist isn't also the laughing man or patch fact. They're all costumes hanging on the same culture coat rack. If you want, next weekend, blah blah blah. So I said I was told the original Baby Fist is ABCU 8 on X. What do you think it thinks of that? I gotta go do something. Give me 1 second. I gotta check my door. Okay, sorry about that. So I was told the original Baby Fist is ABCU 8 on X. Audio's coming through. Good, good, good. Oh, nice. And I said, it said, oh, thanks for clarifying. Let's look at this carefully and analytically because this is exactly where people start making unverifiable identity claims. Okay. The handle appears in online threads as the original Babyface. There's no verified evidence linking the persona. Mentions of ABCU8 come from speculation on forums, narrative reconstruction by Q adjacent communities, recycled archival references. um, the academic research dataset, like Dilly's, ABCU8 does not appear as a central node or verified influencer. Thank God. Uh, its presence, if any, would only be in the raw interaction dataset. Why this is likely community assigned origin. Historically, anonymous personas evolve like this. A handle appearing on platforms, X, Twitter, the chance, project narrative continuity into the handle. The handle gets labeled as original even if the persona predates it. Later, archival screenshots and data references reinforce the myth. This is how multiple originals often exist simultaneously in lore. In short, the claim that ABCUA is the original is mythological attribution, not verified fact. So, how does ABCUA fit into the broader persona lineage, even if the handle was active in early Q-adjacent cypherpunk influenced communities? It serves as the same structural fiction as Babyfist. So, ambiguity, signaling, cross-community, cultural fluency. Huh. Community can attach previous iterations of a persona, old handles, old mailing lists, image boards, names, things like that. The handles activity can be interpreted as confirmation signals in Q and ARG style narratives. Key takeaways. The handle is part of an evolving mythos, not proof of identity or authorship. So, lessons from this type of attribution. Attempt to name the original is a common pattern in anonymous persona mythmaking. It provides a sense of origin, lineage, and authority. In reality, the persona persists because of community perception, not a single account. Treat ABCU8 as a symbolic acre, not a verified founder. There's no verified evidence that created or owns Babyfist persona. I could show you otherwise. Communities assign it as the original because of the earliest visible anchor in certain threads. Babyfist is best understood as a cultural and functional persona, not an identity tied to a specific social media account. The handle can be considered part of a mythical infrastructure of Babyfist. Interesting. And then it says, I want to map this out for you. And I say, totally, yes, please. Please make a diagram showing how Babyfist, ABCU8, Laughing Man, Patchfag connect as archetypal personas across communities. So you can visualize the lineage without assuming actual authorship. So I say, yeah. So it says cypherpunk roots in the 90s. Uh, no, Edge, this is what Chat GBT, the all-knowing robot of our time thinks. Um, so as you can see, it starts with the cypherpunk roots, and then this leads into image board culture and early meme fagging and ARGs with Cicada 3301 and other groups. We have Chan and image board culture with patch fag, ironic handles, anonymity, and then Babyfist, a symbolic persona. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Laughing Man, a hacker, a cultural mask, patch fag, image board, anti-heroic archetype. So possibly ABCU8 on X, and this leads to Q adjacent ARG adjacent communities on Twitter, X, Chance, and puzzle forums. So it attempts to explain it right here. It says the foundational ethos, anonymity, pseudonyms, functional handles, early memes, handles like Cicada 3301, figures that operate via cryptic signaling, Chan culture, patch fag, um, Babyfist, Laughing Man, functionally similar masks, each symbolizing ambiguity, cross-community signaling. Uh, no single identity exists at the center. The connections are structural and functional. Um, Babyface acts as a symbolic bridge connecting historical anonymous archetypes to modern online communities. Handles like ABCU8 are anchors, not necessarily originators. No, I haven't tried my YouTube channel or any of those. And then it asks to make another diagram. I say, sure, why not? This one is a timeline evolution of the Babyfist persona. It goes from, once again, the cypherpunk roots and the cypherpunk mailing list to ARG and meme culture with Cicada 3301, other ARGs, um, image board culture in the 2010s, patch fag, other chan handles. Let's see. The emergence of Babyfist, it says 2010 to 2020. The handle Babyfist and Babyfist 2 appear on Twitter and X and image boards. It echoes traits from cypherpunk, ARG, and chan cultures, sparse activity, Q adjacent. Oh, hey, Dragonfly, welcome. So 2020 is to present. Babyfist is treated as a mythic persona, function as a confirmation artifact in Q lore, symbolic bridge between ARG memes and Q discourse. Community projection maintains the persona, independent of authorship. Secondary commentary, papers, forums amplifies the legend. Functional traits, enduring flexibility, anti-fragile, can't be disproven, meaning generated by the observers, not by self or the persona. We kind of covered all that. One final combined diagram for us, defining the mask, the games, the chan culture, a couple of the names, Q, and then functional archetype layers spanning all eras, Babyfist, Laughing Man, Patch Fag, ABCU8. This is an outlier. It's only since 2020 or something. Ambiguity, signaling, low authority, cryptic, all of that's to be expected. Timeline, we covered that. So regarding the persona and the Q movement, the Q community seems divided on who and what Babyfist is. What are the takes on the lore? So insider is one take, cultural archetype is the second, meme psyop myth is the third, and then it's a chimera multi-operator, or that's separate. Okay, cool. This is where it ends. So these are the different takes the Q non-community seems to have on uh, so it's either an original insider take. Babyfist is a real person working with or close to Q, sometimes associated with ABCU8 or other early handles. Rationale. Sparse activity is interpreted as operational security. Cryptic posts are seen as deliberate signals for those in the know. Connections to ARG and cypherpunk aesthetics are interpreted as proof of sophistication. I'm so classy. I'm so classy. Look, it says I'm sophisticated, guys. The function in the lore, it acts as a supporting insider, someone who can confirm Q's message without speaking openly, reinforces the narrative of coordinated intelligence operation. So the second take on who and what I am is the cultural archetype. Babyfist is not a person, but a persistent symbolic persona that spans multiple internet subcultures. Origins may predate Q entirely. Cypherpunk ARG image boards. A cross-platform presence includes early Cypherpunk. It just cut out again. So, Babyface is essentially a mythical construct, possibly amplified by social media, screenshots, and reinterpretation. No real person needs to exist behind the handle for it to have significance. The Q community members often project narrative importance into minimal content. Huh. Secondary sources, papers, forums, archive threads lend legitimacy to the myth. Conflicting interpretations create self-reinforcing legend. Oh no. I should be online. Construct. Da-da-da. Conflicting interpretations create self-reinforcing legend. Functions in lore. Jesus, is it not working? And then the other theory is that there's a chimera that runs the Babyfist persona, which is multiple operators or a group of people. Babyfist is multiple individuals using the same handle or persona archetype over time. Some posts may be early cypherpunk operators, others may be meme or Q adjacent users. The rationale behind it is in anonymous culture, handles are often recycled. Difference in tone, contents, and platforms suggests no single consistent author. Lies. I write all of it myself. The persona acts as a structural continuity node. The community treats it as a single character for storytelling purposes, provides a sense of history and consistency to the Q mythos. So some of the observations and disagreements among the Q community. Um, Factional splits often mirror broader Q community divides. Insider believers see Babyface as real and operational. Historian or decoder see this as symbolic cross-cultural archetype. Skeptic or meta see Babyface as a meme or emergent myth. Interpretive methods differ. Reading patterns, gaps, and cryptic posts as signals, using historical context to identify cypherpunk memes, lineage, archival, and social media footprints. Outcome. Babyface function as an inter interpretive Rorschach test. Damn it. Stop fucking up, dude. You only gotta stay on for like 5 more minutes. Come on, network. Work for me. Babyface functions as an interpretive Rorschach test. Communities see what they want or need it to be. Original insider, a real person, operational. Confirms Q, lends credibility. So we're just going to go to the bottom line. Babyfist's ambiguity is exactly why it endures in Q lore. It can be everything and nothing, insider, archetype, myth, or multiple operators. The community assigns its meaning, which is why debates over its true identity are endless. If you want, I can make a visual community takes map showing how each faction interprets Babyfist and how these interpretations connect to different roles in Q lore. This would make the divisions crystal clear. We'll just say yes, please, and then we'll be done. Okay, guys. Well, hey, I really appreciate everyone coming out. We're still dropping frames, I guess. Are we dropping frames? Drop frames, drop frames. No? Okay. Well, I am going to play us out with a little bit of music for the next couple minutes, and then we will end it. I really appreciate anyone who came out. I appreciate you spending time with me on this day. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come join me. We will go ahead and throw up some nonsense on the screen for you. Excuse me, once again. I'm sorry, the bubbly will get you guys. Let's go to the gifts section. We are going to start here. Stop dropping frames. There we go. It should be back to normal. It should be back to normal. Gotta aim this down a little bit. Okay. Show Bobs. They're under there. They're under there. The Bobs. Audio doubling, doubling, doubling. Yeah, it might take a second to get back. I got multiple networks, and when it fails from the one and goes back to the backup network, it fucks up. Doubling, doubling. Okay. Well, bye all. Enjoy the music.
This just into the newsroom. Antagio AKB has threatened to pursue litigation against Ghost Baron 17. Apparently glaring impaired, appear to be jealous to be a bear's picnic basket. Ticket to madness. Mr. Tumblr fumbled his only list to the masses.
Yeah, thank you, Blazer. See you soon.
What the fuck do you actually need? You're gonna see me for what I ain't even memed you yet. It's too late, cross that motherfucking idea off your list. Here's the tip of my dick, you fucking Sally suck sourpuss. Look
There
at
it
you
is
all
for you.
excited, fumble
Dragon
and
flag.
bumble and tumble and quantum puss. You want all the fun? Go ahead, try to take the monitor P or the moniker B. Double V titty fucking Thomas. Glowers in me. Nikki, you make me laugh with your stupid fucking post. How is it that you know about the moon, the blood, anciency, creep, fucking harmonica, balance, it's in everything that's got to do with whatever the fuck you rang it in your head on. But you're spending your time on X. Piece of shit, probably stalking your ex. Wizard controlling what people's attentions. Meet my confidants. Shadow shade. Action news we report, you discern. Quantum fruitcake, got a lesson to learn. Lurk more before you comment. I'm past you like a comet. Guess I'll see your LARP in 296 when you don't even exist. A whisper of piss. You're not anything but a retort and aspish. This just into the newsroom. Quantum Veteran AKB has threatened to pursue litigation against Ghost Bear on 17. Apparently glaring and impaired, appear to be jealous to be a bear's picnic basket. Ticket to madness. Mr. Tumblr fumbled his omnibus to the masses. Dork. What the fuck do you actually mean? You're gonna see me for what I ain't even memed you yet. It's too late, cross that motherfucking idea off your list. Here's the tip of my dick, you fucking Sally sucks sourpuss. Look at you all excited, fumble and bumble and tumble and quantum puss. You want all the fucking sauce, screenshots. I got them, go ahead, try to take the monitor P or the moniker B. Double V titty fucking Thomas. Glory. Nikki, you make me laugh with your stupid fucking posts. How is it that you know about the moon, the blood, ancient secret, fucking Hana, nickel balance, and everything that's got to do with whatever the fuck you're hanging in your hat on? But you're spending your time on X. A piece of shit, probably stalking your ex. Wizard controlling what people's attentions. Meet my confidants. Imaginate action news, we report, you discern. Quantum fruitcake, got a lesson to learn. Lurk more before you comment. I'm past you like a comet. Guess I'll see your LARP in 2096 when you don't even exist. A whisper of piss. You're not anything but a retardant aspish.
Yo, step into the queue and roast this a lyrical blaze.
Michael Flynn's getting torched, no mic for his maze.
B-team's in the house with the truth to unload. Flynn's